Welcome, Cancer, to your chakra reading for May. Hope you friends are doing great out there. If your friends like this, please like and subscribe. Okay, guys, let's see what's going on with your chakras. Straight into May over here. I did put up the lunar eclipse video to kind of show what's going on with that lunar eclipse and how it's going to affect you. It's the majority of most people, it's showing that's really what's going on with most people. That's what lunar eclipses are about. So you might want to watch that video if you have not. Okay, friends, let's see what's going on. We have the throat chakra coming out for you, talking about talking, listening, communication, creativity. Okay, we'll also get another card in just a minute, but let's see what's going on over here. We have this sacral inner space with the sacral chakra also coming out. This is located just above the belly button. This is talking about that tenderness, that sensitivities, and the intentions of what it is you really want. This is where we manifest to get our inner strength and inner power for the things that we are sensitive about and that we truly do desire. You have the desire within the sacral chakra, but it won't really work unless you get the intentions out of what it is you really are sensitive and tender about. Really making those try to manifest itself. Let's see what's going on next. Is the chamber of the violet flame. This is about karmic release, radical transformations. So this is all purple. So there's talking about using that intuition to understand this karmic relationships that are around you, really releasing what it is that you know is toxic around you, or something that you just don't feel is necessary within your life anymore. It doesn't even have to be toxicity. It could just be, I'm holding on to this and I know it's just not good for me anymore. It's just lost its kind of power, but it still feels like it might have a grip on you. So releasing that, you will also show the crown chakra as well. So that will bring you into the knowing that it's time, right? So really having that and really using those intentions and really speaking about it, knowing about it, maybe even creatively finding ways to let go so it doesn't feel like you're, really losing something. Right? Sometimes we feel like we're still losing something even though we know we don't really want it. It's an interesting factor, right? Bringing in the courage and taking steps to do so. So it's definitely taking these small steps. It's kind of like, the first thing that comes into my head is kind of, I know it's kind of stupid, but it's kind of like having a purse. You have this purse, but you know you don't want to use it, right? But you have this attachment to it, but you don't want to let it go. But I'm not going to use it. So I just put it in my closet because I really like this purse. And maybe we even have a lot of history together. But it's pretty much useless. It just sits in the closet, right? But to actually let it go, it might have to let go of what you believe is of memories or time or something. But you have to understand those memories never go. Just because you don't own the purse doesn't mean you have to release the memories. Right, so it's kind of that kind of situation is really what I'm feeling over here. It's something that you know you're never going to use again, right? But yet I don't want to let it go because it's mine, right? Or it's holding some kind of emotion towards it. But yeah, you have this maybe intention, towards it. And the intention to it is this sensitivity and this tenderness towards the situation. So it's all this, all of this compassion and all of this love towards this could be just an item. Maybe it's even a person if I don't talk to them anymore, but it doesn't mean you have to let people go, right? It feels more like in a lot of ways, some kind of inanimate object that you're really holding on to, that's bringing in meaning for you, but you have to remember you have a mind and we have a memory. So therefore you don't have to release memories of it, but it's becoming some kind of a karmic situation for you, right? And not really always in a good way. If you're releasing something karmic, that means that it's taking control of a situation which is not, needed, right? So, okay. We will get this, like I said, this other card out in just a second. I just want to see what's going on over here. So it's saying that you're taking steps towards this. If you know it's a situation of maybe an ex-love, you're going to have to find the courage no matter what to release this. Right? Even if you know that you guys have you're never going to be together again, but yet I'm holding back from maybe dating because I'm still holding on to this, you need to let that go. So taking baby steps to get there. Kind of freeing yourself is what the situation is, which will allow this beautiful transformation within yourself. Yes, bringing in new growth, you know, and really bringing in truth and intuition into the situation through also what you're speaking, and kind of, you know, really intuitively thinking, you know, and then speaking it, right, through the communication. Even if it's, you know, not to them maybe right away, but to yourself, right, for your own self-gratitude. And then we have separation with the Three of Swords, because yeah, it just causes a lot of pain, and this will separate any kind of maybe pains that you have. Maybe it became a painstaking situation, to where you didn't want to let that go. Could be some kind of fear-based situation coming out of that. Let's see what the next card is. Now we're going to go get this card so we can clarify on this entire thing. Okay. Fine, please. Ooh. Using the crown chakra for your peace. Bringing in the inner peace for yourself. Wow. So this is definitely going to bring in inner peace. This is a place of growth. This is a place where you're going to feel like you can move on, having the courage to speak your truth, if that's what it is, whether it's to them or to yourself, or maybe to yourself then outward. You know, however this is, depending on what the situation is. Everybody's situation is a little bit different. So, but it's definitely going to allow you to separate. But this time, at least this time, if you're trying, and let's say, oh, I've tried this before, it doesn't work, you will build this courage, and really finding this courage as soon as you really get into these chakras and really think about what it is and really ground yourself, for the situation, and having a better understanding, how it could be holding you back, in so many different ways. Once you do that, you'll have the courage enough to separate yourself without having to think anything else, right? Okay. And also make sure that you're always kind to yourself during such a process. Don't be rough on yourself, hard on yourself. It doesn't help you. Okay. You have the Ten of Cups upside down, saying that it's nothing but unsatisfactory. It really does nothing for you. You know this. It could be something you've been struggling with for quite a while. It's really listening to your own intuition, listening to your own. Once you kind of listen to your intuition, it will hit your analytical thinking. And then you can really learn the process of how to do this, and doing it the loving, compassionate way to yourself, and then pushing that out to the other if you're dealing with another person. And this is because you feel like, you know, holding on to this is just a bad choice, a karmically bad choice. This is a card of karma, and it's saying this is karmically bad. It means that if you had a karmic soulmate, that is over. It was only here for a learning lesson. You've learned what you were supposed to learn from them. If it is a soulmate, it's harder to pull away because you feel that connectedness, right? It doesn't matter if it's a bad karma or a good karma. You know, you're going to feel connected. But as you learn, and whatever it is that your soul learned from that, it's time to move on so that you can grow. They were here for a reason. You were there for them. They were here for you. It was a part of the chart. It was a part of the process. And now it's over, right? And then sometimes the soul's, you know, digging onto it so tight, but something within you is, you know what I'm saying, is like holding you back, because you're like, this person, there's something about that, you know, and you know this, but your soul, believe me, wants you to move on, because they know that it's done, right? It's done and it's over with. This whole situation could cause some drama, for some of you, and for others of you, it could be drama within yourself, drama within the other person, or it's just showing that it just really has a really bad imbalance, because it's no longer needed, right? We've both learned what we need to learn. Could be dealing with a Pisces, also a Capricorn, a Libra, or a Sagittarius, right? So I have Pisces twice. So for a lot of you, it could be a Pisces. but it doesn't have to be. But it's showing that you have to be more compassionate to yourself to allow this to end. And once you figure out how to get strong and be self-assured that this is what it's supposed to be and this is done and over with, that's where the courage is really going to come in to play over here, to really be able to take these steps. And this is going to put you right back on the right path that you're supposed to be on, because you've already learned what it is you're supposed to learn. I mean, it's crazy because sometimes our souls want to learn pain, a certain kind of pain. It's evolving, it's growing, it wants to know certain things. So even if you learned that me and maybe this type of person don't get along, maybe, whatever it is that you feel you've learned, by using your intuition, when you dig deep into the situation, you'll know exactly what it is that you've learned, and them as well. And they may be having the same issue that you're having of trying to let this go, or maybe they've already tried to let go and maybe you're pulling, right? Or maybe, maybe you've been trying to let go, but they keep pulling you back in, so it's harder to let go, right? Everybody's situation's a little different, like I said, but however it is, you need to let go once and for all, right? Yeah, it just feels like it's a nightmare. That's really what it feels like. Get out of the nightmare of the pull and tug situation. Because taking the taking the steps is going to get you out of the nightmare. And there could even be a little, fear-based of losing this person. Kind of like I said earlier before, is like having this purse. It's hanging in the closet. Once it's not hanging in the closet anymore, it's kind of like, well, where'd my purse go? I wish I would never got rid of that. That had so much meaning. I took this to this concert, that concert. But, it's just kind of taking up space in there. And it's just a material thing, but sometimes we go back inside of our mind and say, why did I get rid of that? Because I brought up this story and then I was going to show you this cool purse that I had, but now I can't do it because I threw it away. Oh my gosh, I've done that. I did that with a concert shirt once. Oh boy. Yeah. But, and it was like, I don't know, it was just the telltale sign of wanting to share a story, and then you have this item to share the story with. You see what I'm saying? So, and then when it comes to people, it's like you're afraid that, I don't know, the situation, the fear of them not really going to be there, even though maybe you don't really get along all that well, but then when maybe certain times you do call them, they're there, even though, you see what I'm saying, even though it might not last long. So it's kind of the fear of the loss. Sometimes it doesn't even matter for some people whether it's a toxic situation. They just don't like the loss, the whole idea of them not being there. It's kind of like, well, I know that so-and-so, and I don't really get along, but, when the shiz hits the fan, I can call them and, they'll talk to me for a little while before we end up fighting. You know what I mean? So with the Ace of Swords, there it is again, right? It's taking the new steps to the realization and to having the clarity and the understanding of the intuition to know this is where I need to be and this is where the fresh new start needs to happen so that I can have the growth that I deserve and that, my soul is really ready for me to do. And this is going to bring in the 9 of Coins because it's saying, well, you have all the resources within yourself. You hold the key to having what you need and you have this reward. And you have this destined reward for yourself, because everything that you're doing is no longer, needed. And it does, it feels like there's kind of maybe this out in the cold feeling, a depression, and you probably will, once you, because healing always does that. It always brings on this kind of depression because you are feeling like you're at a loss. It's one way or another. It's the feeling that it's surreal now and it's really just happened. I'm no longer, maybe I'm no longer mad about the situation. So now it's bringing this kind of emptiness to the situation about the actual loss. But just remember that everything, there's depression again, bringing on kind of that depression. Especially if you guys have been together a really long time. And even though you know that it's not a good situation, sometimes we just don't really want to let go. But it says that it'll bring in the Empress, which is great prosperity is coming through. So, you know, and yeah, it's going to bring in the world because now you've actually concluded the situation the right way, without maybe, you know, the running game. For some of you, this might be a twin flame situation where, you know, we're always playing cat and mouse games. You know, chase me, I'll chase you. And then it comes to the point where it's like, we've learned what we need to learn, and now it's time to separate because not all twin flames are meant to be together. In fact, most twin flames are just here to guide you, just kind of seeing yourself, a piece of yourself, that there's this huge tie, but not meant to be together. That's the biggest thing there. They're not meant to be together. They're there to learn from. It's like learning a piece of yourself, um, about the situation. So what you've learned, what you need to learn, most twin flames kind of separate, and then sometimes in life they'll end up coming back together if it's necessary. So in some ways it could be definitely that as well, where it's just kind of ended. We've kind of done our journey, and it's over till the next time. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, and the next time might be the next life, or it could literally be 20 years from now, and then we'll run back into each other, which is, you know, crazy because it's like it took me all that time to get past this, and then here you come trotting back in with a different scenario. Okay, and that was it for you, my friends. Until next time, peace and love. Bye-bye.